Hey guys, Zero here again. I got another unbagging for you guys. This is a recast, so I'm just letting you guys know now. I came across this on a website and it was too cheap to avoid. And I was going to get this model either way. I might still get the original model. I don't know. But I wanted to take a look at what they did with this one and see how well it was made. And I picked up just a bag of bits, but I picked up Abbadon the spoiler, the new model, from a website. This is a recast. I just didn't feel like paying, $50 for that model. I just don't think that's right. He's pretty cool. He's a big Terminator, whatever. But for 50 bucks, I don't know. I might still get it because it's plastic and it's a little bit more durable than resin. But I don't know how much I'm going to use my Black Legion. Maybe in Apocalypse, but that's about it. But I picked up Abbadon, and we're going to take a look at it and look at the quality of this cast. You guys are going to be surprised by it. So you can find this guy for about 16 bucks, 13 bucks. I'm not bullshitting. So you do the math. It's your choice, your moral compass. That's on you. I've done unboxings for legitimate GW kits and Forge World stuff, so listen. I don't judge, and I don't expect to be judged. I'm just saying we're gonna take a quick look at this Abbadon, see what he got. But for $13, even if I never use it and I put it on a shelf, it was only 13 bucks. The Space Marine Heroes per box is minimum $10. You get one little plastic guy. Sure, you can add them to your army, whatever. But I'm just saying that guy is running 50 bucks. That's on the internet. So, just like I said, it's easy math. We'll take a quick look over at the table. Alright guys, let's take a quick look at this recast of Abbadon the spoiler. Again, if the word recast offends you, take a hike. No offense, but I ain't got time for your drama. There's 60 mil base with a very detailed floor base. Pretty thin. Feels like I could break it with my hand probably, but the detail's there. And this is how that comes. Pretty much, in a bag of parts. Let's take apart. Okay, this is part of the cloak. His cloak. Whoop. Almost lost it there. Detail's pretty good. I'm gonna do some cleaning up, but not much. But I found that, this is just my experience now. I don't know this for a fact or anything like that. I don't have a connection with the inside. But I have found that if there is a recast of a plastic kit that exists, a GW plastic kit, there's his front skirt and his WWF championship belt. WWE, apologize. Showed my age right there, right? His WWE championship belt. I find that if there's a recast of a plastic kit, which I've seen a few. I don't think I have any. I think I have one, maybe one other guy that's a plastic kit recast. They're really good because the plastic molds, the plastic kits are really friggin' good. They're still in good condition. Even the old plastic kits, there's a lot of detail and it's easy to catch a mold from that. It's the resin kits from Forge World that I find are very particular. Like, you're either going to get a good one or you're going to get a crappy one, and it is what it is. I mean, obviously you're paying for a recast. That's part of the base, the busted Aquila Eagle wing. You know, you're getting a recast, so you get what you pay for, right? But there are some, you know, sometimes you get a recast like Phenomenal, because you know it's a newer model, so it actually has a newer mold. But then you get a recast of an old model, like my buddy has a recast of a Thunderbolt, you know, because he couldn't find one. It was half the cost of the one he got at Forge World, you know, and he wanted two, but he didn't want to pay the full price, so he got a second one. You know, it is what it is. But his second one is actually molded better than the Forge World one, believe it or not. I mean, obviously they didn't get his recast from his mold, clearly, but that just, you know what I'm saying, it goes to show, like, even from Forge World, they're not the greatest at casting. I mean, it's they have some of the greatest designers when it comes to miniature wargaming. Like, I think some of their artists and their designers are phenomenal, you know, but that doesn't mean that the process is great. I can even show you guys, I'll show you one of my original Forge World kits in a second, once we're done with this one. Here's the back of the Terminator armor. So, I mean, it's a pretty cool looking little kit. It's got a lot of parts. Here is his torso. And I mean, you can see the details there, man. It's crisp. It's sharp. This almost feels plastic, but I know it's not. You know what I'm saying? Actually. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Holy... This is not resin, this is plastic. This is the plastic kit. I wonder... Wow, how the fuck? I paid $16 for this kit. I thought it was resin. No, it's plastic. It's plastic. No, wait a minute. This is resin. But this is plastic. What the fuck? What's going on, China? That is the first. This is plastic. That's interesting. Whatever. I have the pieces. I'm not gonna... I don't have the instructions. That's the only thing, you know, obviously you don't get instructions with these kits. You get what you get, you know. There's part of the gauntlet, his gauntlet Stormbolter. But like I said, when you're casting or recasting plastic, it's easier to get a really clean mold. When you're recasting resin, it's not. Plus, resin, as it warms up, it moves, you know, and it gets mushy, and who knows what's happening during that whole molding process. There's the demon sword. I'm not sure what this is. This is a resin piece, I can tell you that for sure, because look at where the sprue, or where the tree is connecting it. That's resin. It's good resin, though. It feels good. And here's the claw. So that's you know what, that's Abbadon. Abbadon. I don't know how to say it. I'm not sure how you're supposed to say his name. But that's him in a Ziploc, you know. So I'll put them together, and maybe I'll do a little showcase. I don't, honestly, had no real desire to play Abbadon. I mean, I never liked the figure from the original one. I don't like that figure at all. I just think it was, you know, a product of its time, but it lasted too long. Like, it was out too long. But I'm glad they waited, because it definitely looks a lot better now than he did. So, you know, I'll give them props for that. A lot of little bitties. I gotta see if I can find some instructions to build this guy. But yeah, like, whatever, you know, whatever they were waiting for, just timing, money, I don't know. But I'm glad they waited, because this is definitely a much better model for, like, the Lord of Chaos Undivided. Like, the other guy was just, it was just garbage. Garbage from the late 80s, early 90s. So here is my original Forge World Tyranid Hive Tyrant, Flying Tyrant. This is the first Flying Tyrant that anyone ever made. Forge World made them. They made two. They made one with just scything talons here, and then they made one with a venom cannon. Now, it wasn't until after that, you know, when the rules were changed and whatever, that you could actually have a set of wings, not as a weapon, but as just an option. And then that meant you could have more weapon options for the model, which made sense. So I gave him, I did a little bit of modification, gave him a bone sword and the whip. I can't remember what it's called. Anyway, this model was very problematic at the very beginning. Like, I had so much trouble. It came with its own little base that I had to put on another. I had to buy a wooden, like a flat wooden, because, you know, whatever. You see that wing there is just coming. No matter what I do, it just keeps coming apart. The legs on this model, show you guys something. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. But in the ankles, okay, those two ankles where the little spikes are coming out the back, those are completely green stuffed. That whole area is green stuffed. There, when I got the model, there were bubbles all through the legs and the feet. So putting the model together was difficult because it wouldn't stay. The only thing that was holding this model up were those 2 feet, were those two, this point here and this point down here, this right down there. Okay, and you can see it's kind of bulky. It's a lot bulkier than the original model because, like I said, this was actually that yellow chalky resin that they used to put out. Forge World used to make everything out of that yellow grainy resin. Okay, and it was real dry and brittle. You know, it was just, that's just the way it was. So naturally, with all the bubbles in the stuff, I used filler to fill it up, but it was a weak point. It was always a weak point. One day, this was sitting on a shelf, minding his own business, you know, being a tyrant like they're supposed to be. You can tell if you have this model, you can see my guy is kind of funky, right? Like he's not standing right. You see, he's leaning way far forward, right? Like he's seriously lurching forward. More so, I mean, it's cool, it's intimidating, but he's more so than it would be if you bought this model brand new. Reason being, and his wings are all floppy, you see? Wings, they flop around. They're flopping around way too much, you know. Reason being, he was sitting on a table, minding his own tyrant business, doing his thing, trying to connect to the Hive. And my daughter and her friends were in the house. They were goofing around. One of them whipped a full water bottle at my daughter, and you know she missed obviously and got the tyrant, and he took a dive, and he took a header, you know, about 2 feet, smashed into a bunch of pieces, and the resin is so brittle, you know, that it was literally in shatters. Like it was literally in pieces. I mean, this wing was broken in 3 pieces. You know, his legs were shattered because the model already did not have the leg support to sustain the weight, much less a shot from a bottle. The tail was completely destroyed. I had to redo the tail with green stuff and putty and all that stuff. That's when I actually decided to convert them and put, give them extra weapons and stuff like that. But from the start, this model was $120 from Forge World. You're thinking, oh, that's not that bad. That's a lot of fucking money. When the normal Hive Tyrant on the ground was less than 50. He was in the 30 to 40 range, and you could get a set of dragon wings somewhere for cheap, and there you go. You had your flying Hive Tyrant. But I wanted I like the cool thin look. The alien queen look, kind of. That's what it looked like to me. But and I liked Forge World. I love Forge World. I love their designers. I love the art behind everything. It's just very cool. But it was such a fragile model. It's like it's not even worth playing with. I played with it like twice, and even playing with it, he got bumped, and it was like one of his arms. This arm right here broke. I was like, come on, man! Like, really? I paid this much money for some shit I gotta keep fixing? Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I shelved him. A buddy of mine had him in a shelf for quite some time. And he finally just got him back to me, and I gotta repair the wings again, because they it's I don't think he did anything malicious at all. Like, I believe, honestly, just entropy, you know what I'm saying? And just, here, check out this guy. Whoops, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just takes its toll on the model. We had to rebuild the crest because it broke. All 3 crests broke. I had to put in a new tongue because the tongue broke and I couldn't find it when it was shattered. There's parts of the torso, the mid-torso, that we had to reconstruct with putty because we just couldn't find the pieces that it shattered into. But, that's a Forge World kit. That's a legitimate Forge World kit that, sure, they probably make with different resin now, with the better resin. But my point being, like, if they mold something from this, which is already fucked up, you're going to get a fucked up recast. It doesn't matter how much you want it to be cool, the recast is going to be shitty if the mold is shitty, right? Like, but if plastic models are being remolded or recasted, they're going to be better because plastic's more sturdier than resin, to some degree, and it recasts way better, So that's why that Abbadon looks the way he does, But there you go. That's my quick review on Abbadon, the Despoiler, $16 model from China. It is what it is, And then here's my rant on my fly rant from Forge World. And I have other Forge World models that I actually like that came out later with the gray resin. All my Aeronautica models are in this chalky yellow resin, and they snap very easily. I've snapped so many wings on my planes just handling them because this is a shitty resin that they used for so long. And I'm glad they went away from, at least I'm glad they went away from that formula of resin, that they don't use it anymore because it's garbage. But we're going to fix the fly ran up. We're going to get him back in shape, get him to the gym, gets his lats back so he can hang out with his friends from Cobra Kai. And then we're going to get Abbadon put together, and so he can, lead his group of nobodies. I don't like Black Legion, but whatever. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. As always, like, subscribe, share. I appreciate your support. Anything that you can help with would be grateful. I'd be grateful for, and anything that would be donated, I would use to support my channel. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.